Shalom. First, let's start off by giving all glory and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakakatash. Double honors to teachers, elders, and apostles of great milestone. Likewise, brothers, promote this truth. Faithfully, fearlessly feeding the sheep unto brothers and sisters. Tuning in, Shalom. Today's lesson titled, They Fear the Change Man. Let's go to the book of Revelation 11 and start verse 8, and it reads, And their dead bodies shall lie in the streets of the great city, which spiritually is called Sodom and Egypt, where also our Lord was crucified. That's talking about none other than America, okay, Great Babylon, America, okay. And they of the people and kindreds and tongues and nations shall see their dead bodies 3 days and a half, and shall not suffer their dead bodies to be put in graves. And it's speaking about the children of Israel, okay, the fact that we lack the knowledge of who we really are, okay. You know, we came over here as slaves on the slave ships, you know, beaten, okay, robbed of our identity, you know, and the nations, okay, they know who we are, okay, and they're going to celebrate the fact that we're ignorant of who we really are. Continuing, it says, And they that dwell upon the earth shall rejoice over them and make merry, and shall send gifts to one another, because these two prophets tormented them that dwell on the earth. And after 3 days and a half, the spirit of life from power entered into them, and they stood upon their feet, and great fear fell upon them which saw them. Okay, so right now, that time is now, okay. Great fear is falling upon these elites. Why? Because what they have before them, okay, every day they're seeing changes, the change man, the change Hebrew Israelite man, okay, so-called blacks, Native Americans, and Latinos. Okay, we now know who we are, okay, we know what we're supposed to do, we know why we're here in the condition that we're in, okay, and we've seen the folly, or understand the folly that we've been involved with under the rulership of Esau, and now they realize they can't control, they don't have that nigger to control. Now, let's go into the book of Titus 3 and verse 3, and it reads, For we ourselves also were sometimes foolish, disobedient, deceived, serving diverse lusts and pleasures, living in malice and envy, hateful, and hating one another. Now, you see in these background videos here I'm playing here in the clips, okay, you know, this is what we were, okay. Now, you know, the brothers in this ministry, you know, we didn't do the things that we see that they put out in Hollywood, but nonetheless, we were ignorant, okay, of who we are, that we are brothers. You know, you have the Latinos and Hispanics, they hate, you know, the so-called blacks hate the Latinos and Hispanics and the Native Americans, you know, and it's just this confabulation of just a mess that we're in. And this is part of the curses pursuant to Deuteronomy 28. In fact, let's go into that. This is Deuteronomy 28 and verse 54, and reads, So that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eye shall be evil towards his brother, and toward the wife of his bosom, and toward the remnant of his children, which he shall leave. Okay, and who is this describing? Us. Okay, we have the largest percentage of household with no fathers in it. Okay, the so-called black woman, she hates the so-called black man. The so-called black man hates the so-called black woman. Okay, and the so-called black man hate the other so-called black man. Okay, same thing with the Latino and Hispanic, they hate the so-called black man, vice versa. Okay, with the Native American. So this is just a lot of hate. We're all brothers and sisters, and all we have is hate towards each other. And the nations of this earth, they rejoice over it. Take a look at these clips. Okay, now I'm not going to play the sound for copyright purposes like that, because this is for educational use. But you see, okay, how you have the you know, the brothers, they're robbing each other. Okay, they're putting each other to death in the streets. Okay, you have the coon, okay, or the older Jakes, them that instead of being, you know, you know, acting like an elder, like how our elders in this ministry act, you know, and they lead by example. You know, they're aiding the so-called white man, okay, Esau, okay, in oppressing us and persecuting us, okay, just to have a little leverage, okay, over their brother, just to have a little position over their brother. And we see Esau have managed, okay, to utilize, okay, the curses that are upon us to his advantage, okay? And they have sent gifts and they have been very happy, but now they're in great fear. Why are they in great fear? Because here it is, you have thugs turning into prophets, okay? Have become prophets. Didn't know there was a prophet all the while, okay? You have men that were serving in Esau's military now are prophets. Men that were serving in Wall Street are prophets. Men that were serving in his entertainment industry are prophets. Okay, waking up to who they really are. And this is put in great fear because us, those men, okay, which includes us, all of us, okay, out there preaching, okay, waking up others, okay, and it's not really us waking up, it's this word, it's truth, okay, it's an appointed time when the children of Israel will wake up, okay, an appointed number of us will wake up, okay, known as the 1/3 elect, okay, of Yasharala is going to wake up. And that is what Revelation, okay, is talking about with that great exceeding army, okay, because when you think about the few that actually have tried to, create the solidarity and try to, appease the so-called white man, those were just few, okay, and, we thought that they was doing the right thing, going out there marching, asking for equal rights and everything. But in reality, we now can see, okay, what they were doing was manipulating, okay, they were manipulating what has been placed on us by the Lord, Yahweh Bashim Al-Shai. Let's go into Ephesians 4 and start verse 20 reads, but ye have not so learned Hamashiach, if so be that you have heard him and have been taught by him as the truth is in Hamashiach, that you put off concerning the former conversation the old man, which is corrupt according to the deceitful lusts, and be renewed in the spirit of your mind, and that you put on the new man, which after power is created in righteousness and true holiness. So all the things that we used to do, and it's harder to do than, it's easy to say than it is to do, okay, because you still walking amongst people that piss you off, we piss each other off, okay, you still in a land of these sodomites and these slave drivers, okay, these people that all they can think about is just another wicked way to execute or get rid of Jace, okay. We've seen it every day, okay, in the headlines and in the news, as this man is making legislation after legislation, law after law after law, in any way he can to try to come against us or come or go through the legal system that they have set up, which it's not in righteousness, okay, just so that they can go and eradicate the children of Israel. It says, wherefore, putting away lying, speak every man truth with his neighbor, for we are members one of another. So we're supposed to work together, okay, and you see brothers are working together right now. You see on the corners with the camps, you see individuals out there doing the work, okay, and we are all contributing, okay, to what we have been commanded to do, which is what? Feed and edify the sheep, okay, according to what the Mashiach has commanded us to do, okay. This is 1 Corinthians 1 and starting in verse 25, because people, one of the reasons why they try to throw that doubt and they're coming out and they're saying, y'all are false and blah, blah, blah. And, people looking down at you like that because, the image of the so-called black man, especially the Negro man, the dark-skinned black man, is that of a thug, dumb, gorilla, good for nothing, worthless, okay. And that's the image that people look at you, and it doesn't matter what you achieve, okay, you are still going to be perceived as that person, okay. And this is the reason why they want to ensure that people keep that stigma in their head, okay, through their Hollywood movies, okay, dramatizing what takes place in these neighborhoods, so that people can say, well, you can't make changes to these people, they're animals, okay. But let's take a look at what 1 Corinthians 1 and verse 25 reads. It says, because the foolishness of power is wiser than man, and the weakness of power stronger than man. For ye see your calling, brethren, how that not many wise men after the flesh, not many mighty, not many noble are called. So he didn't call, the ones that, even though, we're in a wake up state right now and that fear is still there, they still have hope, Okay, because they still have the coons, they still have the rappers and the the basketball players and the sport athletes that really is looking for the more tangible gifts from Esau. Whereas we are condemning this, man. We're letting them know you're going into slavery. Your kingdom is going to fall. Okay, all these people are going to fall. All the people that are helping him sustain his wickedness or trying to prop him up to make great Babylon great again. You're all going to fail. Okay, you are going to fail. It says, but power had chosen the foolish things of the world to confound the wise. This is why people can't look at us and they can't believe, because y'all talk like niggas, man. Y'all cuss, y'all got a swag, some of y'all have braids in your hair, y'all can't be the man of the law. Y'all don't have a 3-piece suit on. Y'all don't speak soft and educated. Essentially we look like thugs, to be honest, when we speak, and that's what people see. Okay, because in their mind, according to Esau, the Mashiach, or who they call Jesus, you're soft spoken and all that stuff, and so kind and gentle, the power. Okay, God is a old soft, kind-hearted man that loves everyone, and the prophets are all gentle, man. They couldn't harm a fly. And it's like, that's far from the doggone truth. Okay, continue. It says, and power chosen the weak things of the world to confound the things which are mighty. We are weak. We have no strength in our hands. Okay, we have no money. We have no military force. Nothing. Okay, all we have is the Bible in our hand, and it's the most powerful weapon to yield against this doggone devil. Continue, it says, and base things of the world and things which are despised, which is us, had power chosen, yea, and things which are not, to bring to naught things that are. We are letting you know this place is going to crash, it's going to fall. We told you women, get in order, because why? The vintage is going to fail. Okay, you're looking around, you're seeing these Edomites, pursuing Deuteronomy 30:7, catching hell. I'm going to bring on a video, Lord willing, later on this week, concerning these other tribes, these dog tribes that are now catching hell too. You see, this damn wicked, fierce Lord is going after everybody. So all these other tribes that thought that this was going to be a go after the Negroes and Latino and Hispanic thing, no, they're coming after you too. They're going to disrupt your doggone life that you've built in your suburban communities, okay, and your little section of these cities, okay. So we'll go into that a little later. Okay, let's close with the book of Wisdom of Solomon 5 and start with verse 1, because this is a collective thing here. You see here, okay, men that are despised and would be considered just whatever, or, if you walk past us on the street, okay, are going to be uplifted, okay, and glorified in the sight of these people, and they can be shocked. It says, then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such as have afflicted him, and have made no account of his labor. When they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear, and shall be amazed at their strangeness of a salvation so far beyond all they look for. We keep telling you, Yahushua is coming back in UFOs. Yahushua is coming back in UFOs, okay, or big gigantic spaceships, okay, and with those he's going to destroy Great Babylon, America, and the whole world is going to see it. We keep telling you all that. That's going to be how our ticket out of here. We're getting beamed the hell out of this place, okay? And it says, and they repenting and groaning for anguish of spirit shall say with themselves, this was he whom we have sometimes in the vision. These niggas, these dirty, stupid looking broke ass niggas. That's how they're looking at us, okay, when they see us out there. They think we're looking for them to come up and drop money in some cup, which none of us have a cup out there. And they proverb and a reproach. We fools account his life madness and his end to be without honor. Because think about it, people drive past us and they walk past us and go, why are they talking? Why are they reading out of the Bible? Why are you reading to the wind? I actually had someone actually stop a camera and go, who are you reading to? They're pulling the car and they go, who are you reading to? Who are you talking to? And it's all fun and games to them until the judgment comes. And then I get to laugh and go, why are you screaming? Okay? It says, how is he numbered among the children of power, and his lot is among the saints? How the hell could these grubby looking doggone dudes out there be the saints of the Bible that we've been hearing every Sunday when we go to church, throwing a collection and going, and in their mind they think it's some doggone Edomite, okay, some passive aggressive, soft looking doggone white boy. No, the prophets of the Bible are what you see out in the highway and the byways right now, okay. And see, that's why the fear is coming on them, because here it is. How many of us are going to go from this thuggy looking lifestyle to this? because we now wake up to who we really are. And that's the fear of change of the so-called white man. They fear we have changed. Lord willing, the lack was edified. Let the gods be given all glory and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakakatash. Shalom.